All right, so in the previous lessons, we basically did the sculpting and we baked the normal map. Obviously, what I want to do now is the color map. Before I do the color map, in order to get something kind of free, what we're going to do is we're going to create a pointiness map and then attach that to the color. What that'll allow us to do is basically just emphasize the texture more, because you'll notice like I could kind of see it, but I can't really see it till I kind of get in there. So it'd be nice if I actually had like shading in there that also made it kind of like darker and lighter based off of those details. So it's pretty easy to set up. So in the shader window, hit Shift A. You're going to go to Input and you're going to choose Geometry. Okay, so we'll zoom in closer here so you can see what it looks like. That's what the geometry looks like. We're going to hit Shift A again. And then now we're going to go to Color. Because basically what this will do is this will get information about the geometry. But it's not a texture in of itself. So we have to put that into a ramp. So we're going to color ramp or a gradient if you're familiar with that, like in Photoshop or other programs. And we're going to go from pointiness to factor. And then from factor, we'll come out of color. And basically it's going to translate it's kind of like a curvature map if you're familiar with that at all. And we're going to pull this up and we're going to pull this down theoretically. Here we go. And I'm going to put shading on so I can see a little bit better. For whatever reason, it doesn't work very well in the other shading mode. And what we're going to do is let's pull this up more. It's going to take a bit of adjustment because what will happen is you want to go until you get a little too much darkness. And so you should see how it's starting to create like this sort of texture on there. It'll also sort of pre-shade my areas. So we're gonna do something like that-ish. We can always adjust this afterwards too, depending on how we feel it looks. All right, so that looks um, kind of acceptable. It will emphasize my texture in here as well. Okay, so from there, what we're gonna do is, so we got the point in the set up, but you'll notice that that's right now going to color. I actually need to have a color map. So we're gonna do Shift A, and this time we're gonna do texture. This is the one we're actually gonna paint on. We're gonna do image, click there, zoom in so you can see a little better. We're gonna hit new, and we're gonna call it color because it's gonna be a color map. For the width and height, we're gonna do 4096 by 4096. Because it's better to be too big than too small. And I'm just going to make it more of a mid gray. Okay, and then we'll hit new image. Great. Okay, I need both of these to basically go inside of this. Mix these two together in order to get our final output. So I'm just going to hit Shift A. We're going to go to, where are you? Mix color. So under color, mix color. It'll create this node. And what I want to do is I want to take my color. That's going to go into B, the layer underneath. And then we're going to, instead of going into base color, this is going to go into A. Okay. So imagine that they're basically on top of each other. We'll take the results here and we're going to put this on base color. And then what I want to do is mix means it's going to mix it like right now you see factor is 50-50. So basically the one above is like 50% opacity and then the one underneath is not. We're actually going to switch this to multiply. And if you remember what multiply does is it basically adds values of dark. So dark black will be opaque and white will be transparent. And so what we want to do is make this be that the black part's dark and that the other part white will be transparent. So it's only going to add the dark part. Now, with those like that, I can now go to my color ramp. Let me see, wait, color, yeah. Oh, we already did that. Yeah, okay, good. That's what I wanted. I want to make sure this was set up correctly. Okay, so now we can basically go in and start painting. So you got to make sure that you select the paint first, and then we can go into our texture paint section. And we will start painting in the next video.